Greetings, YouTube. I was so saddened today to hear of the passing of a very talented actor, Mr. Peter Scolari. Now, apparently, he had been battling cancer for the past 2 years. Now, I loved this guy so much. He had starred in numerous films and television shows over the years. One of his earliest roles was in a show called Good Time Girls. Now, Good Time Girls would be canceled after just 13 episodes. However, that allowed him to be available for one of his most memorable roles of all time, Bosom Buddies, in which he would co-star with Tom Hanks. And for those not familiar with the show, Bosom Buddies followed two single men who are roommates that work together at an advertising firm, and they're struggling to make ends meet. And when the apartment that they reside in is demolished, they're forced to find a new place to live in that they can afford. When they find a women's-only apartment building that is within their budget, they decide to dress as two women named Buffy and Hildegard in order to be able to move in. Bosom Buddies would run just for 2 seasons from 1980 through 1982. The show was part of a Thursday night lineup that included Mork and Mindy, Barney Miller, and Taxi. But despite all of that, the first season only had mediocre ratings, and it was barely renewed for a second season. And when the ratings didn't improve for that second season, it was canceled by ABC. Probably one of the things I remember most about the show was the show's opening, which had Billy Joel's My Life as the theme song. Now, anytime I hear that song, I still think about Bosom Buddies. An interesting note, it wasn't actually Billy Joel's version of the song that was on the TV show, but a version sang by a session musician from Atlanta named Gary Bennett. Now, Peter Scolari would stay extremely busy well after Bosom Buddies. Shortly after its cancellation, Scolari was cast with television legend Bob Newhart in a show called Newhart, in which he played Michael Harris. Now, Newhart would run for 8 seasons from 1982 through 1990. In recent years, Scolari has made appearances in television shows such as Gotham, HBO's Girls, and Blue Bloods. Now, despite their busy schedules, both Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari have remained very good friends over the years. Scolari even appeared in the Tom Hanks directed movie That Thing You Do back in 1996. The two also appeared together in the Nora Ephron play Lucky Guy in 2013. And at Peter Scolari's wedding that same year, Tom Hanks gave a toast that Scolari said was full of the nicest things that anyone had ever said. Scolari stated that he thought Hanks' toast might be something of a roast, but it wasn't at all. Scolari would later send Hanks a note saying that he wasn't sure how he would ever be able to repay that. Here's one more picture of the late great Peter Scolari and his good friend, Tom Hanks. I love that these two guys stayed friends for so many years, connected by a TV show that debuted over 40 years ago and lasted only 2 seasons. Now, what about you? What is your favorite memory of Peter Scolari? I look forward to reading your comments. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel, where I mostly talk about the music, TV shows, and movies that I loved growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and have a great day.